Hello and welcome back to another episode of What I Would Have Played, the show where I run through some of the tracks I would have played this week on the radio had we not been in the coronavirus pandemic. So, without further ado, let's go through the tracks. The first track is a new song by The Streets. Mike Skinner's just released this great new song called Where the F Did April Go, and it kind of vents his frustrations at being in lockdown. It's a great bit of kind of his classic garage sound. It's not a track that will feature on his mixtape that we're all very excited about that will come out in July, but it will serve as the B-side for the recent single he dropped with Kevin Parker from Tame Impala, Call My Phone Thinking I'm Doing Nothing Better. But nonetheless, it's a good track about being in lockdown. And also, where did April go? Now the next track was one of my top 5 new releases from last week. It's called Black Dog by Arlo Parks. Now Arlo Parks is a very talented young singer who is fast becoming one to watch out for over the next few years, and this new track is really powerful, really moving, talks about some tough themes like dealing with mental health, talking to others about it, and she wanted to try and open a conversation and also for this song to serve as a kind of remedy to people struggling at the moment in the lockdown atmosphere. So go and check out that new Arlo Parks song because it's beautiful, very moving. Now the next song is Paper Thin by Leanne La Havas, which was released just last week. And again, this is another female singer with an absolutely phenomenal voice. And she's been in the game a few years now and still making great music like this track. It's just very soulful, very soothing, very relaxing. Yeah. This next one is from Easy Life, who I think are going to go on to do huge things with their music over the next few years. They've just released 2 new tracks, and the one I would have played was called Peanut Butter. It's a very kind of dreamy, again, R&B, soul-inspired track, and if you haven't heard of Easy Life before and you're into your R&B, then maybe this is one of the tracks to get you into them. The lyrics are just interesting to listen to. New music last week as well from Gorillaz, who released a new track called How Far, which features Skepta, the grime MC from Tottenham, and Tony Allen, who's viewed as the father of Afrobeat. Tony Allen passed away just over a week ago now, so I'm wondering if Gorillaz brought this track forwards in kind of memory of him, and maybe it would have featured on that new album anyway, but it's a good track with Skepta's lyrical talents flowing through as ever, and also some kind of almost a bit scary laughing from Tony Allen, but I'm presuming he drums on the track as well. Either way, it's a really good track and nice to listen to in memory of Tony Allen as well. Now this next one is by an artist you'll be very familiar with if you've been listening to Rip It Up on the radio for a while now, or if you've watched one of the previous videos, or even if you've read some of the blog posts online. This is a new track from Jesse James Solomon, I think one of the most talented MCs in London at the moment, and he's released a new track called No Lie. Staying on the theme of Skepta, this track is produced by Skepta. This track also features Jackson D. Silver, who has worked with a crazy amount of artists, including Pharrell, Skepta, Lil Peep, Bakar, just loads of artists, and he's featuring on this track with Jesse James Solomon. The track also features Lay Z, who is another very talented grime MC as well. Next track, now we saw new music from Charli XCX, and in fact this Friday, she's got a brand new album coming out which she's been working on in lockdown. This is a new track called I Finally Understand, and I think it's not my favourite of the singles she's released in preparation for this upcoming album, but it's still a really cool, funky track. You know, it's got a cool beat to it, nice bounce, nice feel to it. Yeah, I'm excited for the album. Little Simz also released brand new music on Friday with a new EP of 5 tracks called Drop 6, and this one is called Might Bang, Might Not. What I love about this track is how simple it is. It's got a really simple beat of just bass and drums, and with Little Simz showing her ridiculous amount of lyrical genius over the top of it. It's just a really good grime track from Little Sims, and she made it in lockdown in isolation as well. So again, great to see more music coming out of some of Britain's great artists during the lockdown period. Now the next track is a JPEG Mafia track, Bald, which was released not that long ago really, but the one I would have played is actually a brand new remix that came out just last week. Now this track features Denzel Curry, who I think is perhaps the most exciting rapper in the US right now, and he just spits some phenomenal bars over the Bald beat, and yeah, it's a really good remix. This last track, Lie Out Loud, is by Blocks, a very exciting female-fronted indie pop band making waves in the UK right now. And there's quite a lot of hype around Blocks for a very good reason. They make good music, they have a great feel to their songs, and this track in particular is just classic indie pop. You can't really go wrong with it, to be honest, and it's great to see yet another female fronted band come through into greater recognition. Now the final track is from Brockhampton, who've just released 2 brand new singles. The track in particular I would have played is called Things Can't Stay the Same, and it's my personal favourite of the brand new tracks they've released. So this track, Things Can't Stay the Same, has some great verses from Kevin Abstract and Matt Champion. And these are 2 tracks we probably would have seen for the first time at Coachella this year had Coachella gone ahead. We were due apparently to see the start of a brand new Brockhampton era, and they were meant to be going on tour around the UK this month as well, which makes me sad now because I had a ticket. But it's exciting to see that Brockhampton have been working on new music, and apparently, according to rumours, their next album, which I think will be their 6th studio album now, will be releasing at some point later on this year, and is apparently already finished pretty much, so that's very exciting. So guys, those were 11 or so tracks I would have played had I been broadcasting on Rare FM this week, which is obviously not happening and probably won't happen until September, maybe even later. It might not even happen until January now, who knows. If you enjoyed this episode in particular, please leave a like because it keeps me motivated. If you liked this episode, you might also like to have a look back at episodes 1 and 2 because they're both equally good. Please subscribe if you're not subscribing already to find out more things I would have played in normal times, and also please share these videos with your friends because let's build up the Rip It Up Nation. Let's go. I'll see you next week. Goodbye.